Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 4, Text 13. No, Text 12. Iti Pragranatam Tesham Striyo Ityadbhutas Darshinaha Darshayam Asha Darshayam Asa Shushrusham Swarchaha Swarchitaha I can't even see. Kurvantir Vibhuhu Iti Pragrinatam Tesham Sriyo Tadbhuta Darshanaha Darshayamaša Sushrutam Swarchitaha Kurvatir Vibhuhu Iti Pragrinatam Tesham Sriyo Tadbhuta Darshanaha Darshayam Asha Shushrutam Swarchitaha Kurvatir Vibhuhu. Sriyo Tadbhuta Darshana Darshayamaša Sushrutam Swarchita Kurvatir Vibhuhu Iti Pragnatatam Tesham Sriyo Ityadbhuta Darshanaha Darshayamaša Sushrutam Swarchita Kurvatir Vibhuhu. Mothers, Darshayamaša Shushrusham Swarchita Kurvatir Vibhuhu. Iti, thus, Pragranatam, who are offering praise, Tesham, in their presence, Sriya, women, Ati Adbhuta, very wonderful, Darshanaha, in appearance. Darshayamaša, he showed. Shushrutam, Shushrusam, reverential service. Suarchita, nicely decorated. Kurvatihi, performing. Vibhuhu, the Almighty Lord. Translation and purport. Translation. While the demigods were thus praising the Supreme Lord, the all-powerful Lord suddenly manifested before their eyes many women who were astonishingly gorgeous, decorated with fine clothes and ornaments, and all faithfully engaged in the Lord's service. Please repeat. While the demigods were thus praising the Supreme Lord, the all-powerful Lord, suddenly manifested before their eyes many women who were astonishingly gorgeous, decorated with fine clothes and ornaments, and all faithfully engaged in Lord's service. Purport: Lord Naranarayana showed his causeless mercy towards the demigods by relieving them of their false prestige. Although the demigods were proud of their personal beauty and female companions, the Lord showed that he was already being adequately served by innumerable gorgeous females, each of whom were far more beautiful than any female companions imagined by demigods. The Lord manifested such uniquely attractive women through his own mystic potency. Professor Hemagiri, why nobody is there? I mean, I count the yellow dresses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's all you have? I see more people. Huh? You just say this every time. I saw them in the Kirtan. After that they went on a bus party. I mean, why call me to give a class if nobody is going to attend? You should tell Brother Hari that I requested, and the temple president, there are 2 co-presidents now, but I requested everybody should be told to attend the class. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devam Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desitarane Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gauru Bhakta Vrinda Vancha Kalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhubhayeva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gauru Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The great sage Drumila, who is one of the Nava Yogendras, is continuing the discussion and instructions to Maharaj Nimi. This happened millions of years ago, and still the same instructions are applicable now. That is called Sanatana Dharma. That it's unchanging message. The perfect message was already given. What is, where is he going? Just a disturbance. So I was saying that that is one meaning of Sanatana Dharma. So the question is, why is it that the sage Drumila was actually discussing about how the material world is manifested, how, why did he suddenly started talking about Naranarayan Rishi and, the demigods coming and Cupid trying to influence him. And then the Lord's expansion, Naranarayan Rishi, producing so many beautiful women who were more beautiful than the heavenly girls that the demigods were accustomed to at that time. Why did he go from that topic about material modes of nature, elements and all that, to suddenly he started talking about Naranarayan Rishi and this incident? Do you know? Why?
We need to choose one form of Lord and then worship Him. So then, maybe Marg asked him, can you describe also in terms of Lord? So that in that case, we are totally explaining all the first he explained from Lord and
No, but there is a discontinuity in the discussion from a scientific discussion of material energy to suddenly the Lord's form. It is not that he asked, please describe the various forms of the Lord, and he straight away started. Because he also asked, please describe what are the pastimes of the Lord and why he is performing them. Because this is the most important and basic lesson that you put the one that they should first of all understand the material energy. Very important lesson, because this is a lesson that even the demigods do not know. See? Name viduhu suragana partha. So when we approach these kind of discussions, you are thinking you know everything, but it's not true. The Lord is giving an instruction that even the demigods do not understand and cannot understand. And that's actually connected to the verses before, where Drumila is explaining how the material creation is done by the Lord. It's there on the screen. Somebody can read it clearly.
Who are in control of the external energy of the Lord, or in other words, those who are in the material world, must first of all know how the external energy of the Lord is working under the direction of Supreme Personality, and afterwards one may try to enter into the activities of his internal energy.
Where is that verse about Lord kissing the gopis? So, this is the point that Prabhupada is saying here. No, don't move that. Why are you moving this? This is you should have put that in a separate file, just those quotes I said. Don't go up and down, wasting time. So, Prabhupada says that first of all, you have to understand the material energy before you can try to understand the Lord and His internal pastimes. And it is not, you have to be a highly evolved person to begin to understand material energy. Being a religious is not sufficient. You have demigods, and they do not know this. So Prabhupada is giving an instruction which is extremely high class. He is saying, first try to understand the way material energy acts under the direction of the Lord before you can try to talk about Krishna playing with the gopis and gopas and he is eating sandesh. And you cannot understand the material energy unless you have become free from it. Brahma bhuta prasannatma madbhaktim labhate param. Unless you are free from material energy, you cannot understand matter. See? Unless you go outside the material energy. You cannot understand how the phone is made by studying the phone. That is foolish. Try to understand this point. Because phone is made elsewhere, in a factory. Once in a morning walk, Prabhupada asked, where are all these bodies coming from? People did not answer. You can't say father and mother combined and then a body came. Then Prabhupada asked, where are all these motor cars coming from? Then he said, they are coming from a factory. Like that, this world is actually coming from an origin, material origin. And you should know that, Prabhupada said. If you think that that is all just material topics, we are only interested in, decorating the deities and just, worshipping, that's it. That's also good, but that will not lead to knowledge. And Krishna consciousness is buddhi yoga. That is why Prabhupada has written 70 books. Who is that? Don't disturb. Fools. I have spent my life bringing out this aspect of Srimad Bhagavatam. And nobody in the movement knows, nobody cares, nobody understands. It's like we have the Juhu beach, you see. People may not even know there is a beach. But I have gone outside and I have gone through this little street and I have entered that other street. From there you can see the sea. But I have not yet gone to the sea. But that's the process. That sea, the ocean, is Krishna. Krishna says it's a representation. It is not like a bucket of water is not Krishna, but ocean is Krishna. Yadyadabhudimat sarvam. Although everything is Krishna, Krishna is saying, at least try to understand when something is extraordinary, that is actually a representation of me. Because bucket of water you can also produce. You may think God is not needed for that. This is basic points for understanding material energy. But Vasudevam Sarvamiti. Krishna is everything. And this is not known in the material world. People in the material world cannot know, but they can know if they have the mercy of the spiritual master, pure devotee spiritual master. Not people who don't even understand what is the purpose of initiation in ISKCON, foolishly performing. You'll just go on like this forever. You'll never be able to know. Where is that Lord kissing the gopis? These instructions are there in Prabhupada's books. You cannot say, oh, I will read Sankhya, I will read and I will understand matter. It's not possible. Because even the great sages do not know. Namai viduhu suragana partha maharishim prabhavamsha. Aham hi adir devanam. Krishna says, I am the source of the demigods. What does it mean? So in order to understand these things, we have to be pure in mind and body. That is the purpose of the system that Srila Prabhupada set up. Because excuse me. So, that's the purpose. The purpose is that Srila Prabhupada said, distribute my books. I'm repeating these things because I can't go beyond that. Because I don't get evidence that people understand. So Srila Prabhupada, before Prabhupada, this knowledge was not distributed like this. See? When Krishna spoke to Brahma, it was only for Brahma, just 4 verses, Chatushloki Bhagavatam. When Brahma spoke to Narada, it's only Narada could understand. And Narada spoke to Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva could not understand, and Narada explained, all your Vedas, whatever you have written is not to the point. Write properly again. So he wrote Bhagavatam. That also he didn't write immediately. So in this way, it is, and when Vyasadeva spoke to Sukadeva Goswami, he was the only audience. He was in the womb. And so Sukadeva Goswami spoke to Parikshit. Parikshit was the only audience. Okay, Suta Goswami was there, few others were there who understood. And Suta Goswami spoke to the sages of Naimisharanya. So, it was not widely given. Bhagavatam says that it is meant for Nirmasaranam Param. But Prabhupada gave the same knowledge in a form that he wanted everybody to read. Before, the Vedic knowledge is not to be heard by those who are not qualified, Brahmanas. We all grew up without even hearing the word Bhagavatam. Whereas Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said that if suddenly every book in the world is to be destroyed and only Bhagavatam survived, humanity would not have lost anything. So, the Srimad Bhagavatam is actually meant for the highest class of people. And Prabhupada has spread it. None of us can do it. None of us. We can blabber and we can think that somebody has become a devotee because I preached. I never take it seriously. So many people tell me, oh, Prabhuji, you came to Krishna consciousness because I heard your lecture. I don't even take it seriously. I have not myself become a devotee. How you can become a devotee by hearing me? We are speaking. It is just a hetu. By that, but if Prabhupada has written Vedic knowledge, which is meant only for the topmost class of people, And he said he's written it in such a way that anybody and everybody can read and understand. And mammoth achievement. So don't foolishly think that you understand it. The highly technical work. See? Just like I was explaining to somebody yesterday, I do not know how many of you even know. There's examples also cannot be given. How many of you have read popular science books? Put your hand up. Nobody. Yeah. How you can understand my example? Because you think it's foolish. So, but anyway, my main point was, but when people read this Bhagavatam book, people are very sinful. I was very sinful. I am still sinful, but I was even more explicitly sinful. Now at least it's covered. So then what happened is that people are sinful. They eat meat, they eat drink, they have unlimited illicit sex. And they read. And this book is capable of actually touching their heart. And they can actually start following. Oh, God is like this. But that doesn't mean immediately they may understand. Oh, Krishna is God, like that. They can understand. It's very quick transformation. I remember I was in San Francisco in the temple, Carl Street Temple, one lunchtime. There was nobody there in the whole temple. It's a small temple, people had gone, I was there. And one fellow came and he said he's an Iranian Muslim. And I said, oh, please come in. And he said, I just got a book yesterday. I said, oh, I see, yeah. I read it, it was very interesting, and this address was there, so I came. I said, what is interesting you found in the book? He said, I found it interesting that God is a cowherd boy. You see, we have never heard such a thing. And I'm curious, I want to know more. One day, just previous day, Muslim from Iran in America. You see, it just touched the heart. Prabhupada said that, what will your 3 hours of preaching do? If they read one word of mine, their life will change. So don't become a fool. I'm Guru. I see all this going on in ISKCON, nonsense. I'm openly telling. You don't even know ABCD. You're Guru. This is not the system that Prabhupada set up. It was recorded, going all over. So you do what you want. But why I'm saying this, that is another big class. So Prabhupada said that when they get the books, it's not enough that they read and start chanting. It should become a little clean. Just like if you are a beggar, right? The street with dirty cloths, you have not taken bath for, those kind of people, hippies were there. Wow. When they used to come to the temple in San Francisco, the temple would just stink like anything. But they became devotees, that's a different. So, if you are a beggar who has not taken bath for 19 years and dirty and this and that and sitting, and you got an invitation for dinner at the King's Palace, at the White House, or Modi's presidential Bhavan, whatever it is. You get an invitation for dinner. That's not enough. You'd have to get cleaned up, right? If you go like this, and they say, no, I've got an invitation. They'll say, don't you have any brains? You got an invitation. Couldn't you shave and take a shower and put a clean cloth and come? So this is the invitation to the presidential palace. But we are beggars, dirty. So you should clean yourself. Purascharya, Prabhupada said. This process is for Purascharya. Have you heard the word? Purascharya? That's what we do in ISKCON. This is not even taught. It is taught that we are doing bhakti. So, you are doing Purascharya, preliminary cleansing, that is there in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's important or not what I'm saying? Huh? Ramrut Prabhu? Don't take this casually. I'm repeating, but I want to say much more. But every time I see people are sitting, they don't know the basics. Hit on the head and teach. So this ISKCON, what you are doing is meant for Purascharya, preliminary purification. And if you don't shave your hair, and if you don't take bath, and if you don't put better clothes, clean clothes, then you have not achieved the purpose of Purascharya. I have not achieved the purpose of Purascharya, and I've been around for nearly 46 or 47 years, and I have done everything. You have done more than you. So be careful. We can only, but sometimes I think, oh, I have failed in my life, I wasted my life. That is true, but that's all I can do. I can only do what I can. But if you don't even do what you can, then you are a nonsense. What I can only do what I can is true, but doesn't mean that he can do whatever he wants and say that's what I can. One must understand. So this entire system that Srila Prabhupada set up in ISKCON is meant to give the chance for those who have read the books to become purified. And pure means Brahmana. So Prabhupada said the movement is meant for making Brahmanas. Pure means to become actually free from all material contamination. Brahmana yo Brahma janati, Brahma bhuta prasannatma. You don't even know what is this process and how you are supposed to become a Brahma bhuta. Simply hearing stories of Krishna, this is not going to help you. So this story about Naranarayana is not a story. I'm going to explain that. It's not a story. What is the meaning? So in the Bhagavad, how can you become clean materially, you see? It's the process of yoga. Pashchime yogam aishwaram, Krishna says. Look at my mystic opulence. It's all connected to this. Yoga means you are identifying with something and doing, but at the same time, you are not identifying with it. This is yoga. Just like if you are in a rich man, in a movie or drama, he gets a role as a beggar in the street. He has to act nicely like a beggar. Please give me money, like that. But he cannot forget that he is not a beggar, he is a rich man. You see? Similarly, you have this body. But you cannot forget that you are not this body. This is called yoga. You must be free from the very thing in which you are embedded. Krishna says, everything is coming from me, yet I am not attached to them. Yogi. Try to meditate on this. So you can become a yogi by not being attached to whatever conditioning you have now. This body is a result of so many lifetimes of conditioning. And you act through this body, but you never forget you are not this body. This is yoga. We must reach that point. I can't claim I have reached that point, but at least I know this is the goal. So all of us have to become yogis. Tasmad yogi bhavarjuna. It's all great secret, bhakti. So after this Purashcharya process, bhakti begins. This is said by Krishna himself. Brahma bhuta prasannatma mad bhaktim labate param. So who is that person who has transcended the material energy? So Prabhupada has put everything. He is giving you the invitation to the king's palace, and he is also showing you, you go to this place and you can get cleaned up. But if you go to that place and you think cleaning up, okay, now over everything. No. And of course, you are not even cleaned up because nobody has taught you how to clean. You have never cleaned yourself. Lifetime. I'm just giving in simple terms, but behind this, that is called popular science. Anyway, so when Krishna says you become a yogi, he says that you don't reject whatever the material energy has given you under my supervision. Mama adhyakshena suyate cha paracharam. But at the same time, you cannot be attached to it. Vita raga bhaya krodha. How you are going to do that if you don't know what is yoga? I don't think people even know what is yoga. Yoga means to be not attached to your opulences. This body is an opulence Krishna has given. Ishavashamidam sarvam tena taktena gunjita. But devotee is not concentrating on that. Jaha dehara smriti nahi kaha samsara bandhana. When you don't remember your body, so the yogi, that is why Krishna said, yogi nam sarvesham madgatena parama, whatever that verse is. Yogi nam api sarvesham madgatena antaratmana. Why are the gopis the greatest yogis? Because they have no conception of their self. They're only Krishna. So even though you are actually a part of Krishna, mamai vamsa jiva, these are all the Bhagavad-gita is there, but not easy to understand. Not just easy, it's impossible to understand without going through the process of Purashcharya. And Vaishyas, Sudras, and all men are Sudras. Kalau Sudra Sambhava. Kali is the dance of Sudras. Everybody is a Sudra. Parasar Muni says in Kali Yuga either there is a Sudra or a Bhagavat. Not Bhagavat, at least. Nothing in between. There is no Vaishyas. So when Krishna says, Shriyas Vaishyas Sudras Tata, there are only two classes, Sudras and Sri. We are all in that category, one or the other. There is no difference between men and women. Absolutely none. All low class. Prabhupada says all that, but we are thinking he's talking about outside. We don't think he's talking about me. So, the Sudras, women class, we have no chance for understanding going beyond the material energy. So remember, I tell that you cannot understand a telephone by studying it. You have to go to the factory and try to study it. You cannot understand you are not the body by being inside the body. And Sudras and women are soaked in bodily consciousness. The body is giving so many troubles. How can I know? Not right now I'm going through so many problems. But if I sit to speak Bhagavatam, then by Krishna's mercy I forget. That's a different matter. You cannot normally overcome. But in this Kali Yuga, even though you're a Sudra or a Panchama, Melecha, nonsense, and even though you're a woman, this is not to degrade women or something like that. That's a deep topic. But we must accept that I'm either a Sudra or I'm a woman. In this world, everybody is only two class. And Krishna says it doesn't matter whether you're a Sudra or a woman. You're nothing else. You can try to become a devotee. To become a devotee, you have to read Srila Prabhupada's books. There's no other way. And you must come to the platform, Karishye Vachanam Tava. I shall do what you want me to do, Krishna. You should come to that point. You surrender. So much sound noise, how can I speak? Anyway, there was a child here, right? It's all right. See, that this quietness is required to speak Bhagavatam. So, the parents can be told that you can take him, you can be quiet, or you can sit in the class. So the point is that you must understand what is the purpose of the temple. The temple is the place you can get association of Krishna consciousness, and you can actually try to clean yourself. That is, I can try to clean myself, and we can try to clean ours. That's what it is. And when you become, this process is complete, and initiation is a part of that process, cleaning process. Guru is already there. There is no, that's another topic. Let us not, you don't even know. Wasting time. People are writing in Temple President Conference, I'm seeing. By the mercy of my Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada and Lord Krishna. Okay, by the mercy of your Guru Maharaj, then who is Srila Prabhupada? Is not your Guru? There's an old Sanskrit thing, I cannot say it here. It's not for public example, but it's there, such things are there. So that's you do not even know what is the goal of ISKCON. Oh, ISKCON will make devotees. You cannot make devotees. At least you can give people a chance to get purified. So how can you get purified? I'm giving everything in a very summary form, but take it seriously. Go back and reread Prabhupada's books up to first to 10th canto, or whatever he has written. And pray to Prabhupada. Please give me an understanding. Once I gave a class in Chennai, I asked people, what is Supreme Personality of Godhead? What does the word Godhead mean? Don't tell me your understanding. Give me Prabhupada's quote, Prabhupada saying Godhead. Nobody knew. Manaswami was there. I said, Maharaj. He said, Prabhupada has not given. Have you read Prabhupada explaining what is Godhead? Definition. But he has translated Supreme Personality of Godhead. We say that way. It's a science. Great science he has written. You see? Because you have all not read popular science books, I must give some other examples. It's like in the newspaper, they say, President of America has come or something to India and he is in Delhi. Today morning he went there, today morning he went there. You read that. Okay, you have read that. You can also say, but it doesn't mean you understand. You have not experienced it. It's very difficult. See, the whole problem is that you are thinking that you are reading these books in English and you think you know everything. You do not know that you know zero. That is very, very, very fortunate. It took me 35, 45 years, 40 years, then I understood. I know zero. Now also, I know zero. But I know at least that I know zero. Once in the morning walk, Prabhupada, they told Prabhupada there was a person called Socrates and he said the whole world is full of fools. And they asked Socrates, Socrates, what about you? He said, I'm also a fool. And then Prabhupada, they said, Socrates, then why should we listen to you? What is the difference? Socrates said, the difference is that they don't know they are fools, but I know I'm a fool. Prabhupada stopped and he turned and he said, that person can be initiated. And yesterday only, 2 days back, I read a quote of Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, a foolish person cannot understand that he is foolish. A foolish person is not simply a person who doesn't know anything. He cannot understand that he is foolish. Because as soon as you understand you are foolish, you are a little bit intelligent. So you have to internally realize. That realization comes. That's another topic that is also not known. So anyway, but I have to come to this point of the connection between previous verses and this Naranaran Rishi episode. I don't want to forget that, but 8:54 ho gaya. So, this internal fire that I should become a devotee can start only if you understand that the process of becoming a devotee is after Purascharya. And ISKCON is for Purascharya. That's all. That's all. So you have to cross this process and you have to associate with people who at least know that we have to cross this process. And Prabhupada has designed this whole process that in a matter of a few years, 2-3 years, you can become a Brahmana. Brahmana means Brahma Janati, Brahma Bhuta, who lives in Brahman. Who lives in Brahman is not an imagination. Ramanujacharya had a disciple who will not cohabit with his wife. So the wife's mother came to Ramanujacharya, they are all devotees. She said, please do something, at least our Vamsa should go. So Ramanujacharya called and said, your husband do your duty, give your wife a child. He said, how can I combine with my wife? For that you need a private place. But everywhere I go, it's light. It's intense, unlimited spiritual light. So Ramanujacharya said, okay, you go. And all the other disciples are thinking, oh, this girl is showing off, like everywhere he goes, it's light and wow, what is this? Because they always thought, he's always talking about as if only he knows Ramanujacharya. We are also followers, we are also, So one day, in the evening, Ramanujacharya called his disciples. He said, there is a needle I had, I've dropped it. And he had switched off all the candles, everything. It's very dark, find out. They tried, how will you find out a needle in the room, it's dark. So they called Kuresa. He came, and in the room he looked, and he went and picked up the needle and gave. Because light was there. Sada pashyanti suryo diviva chakshuratatam tad vipraso vipinno jagravamsaha. Okay, he can do Achman. Om the Dishman Vaman Badam Sada pashyanti suryo diviva chakshuratatam. She see light. It is possible. So that fire everybody can get, Sudras and women. Wow, what a great personality. Sukadeva Goswami spoke the Bhagavatam. It is not distributed everywhere. Even if it is distributed, people cannot understand. Prabhupada has written. Extraordinary personality. Should never forget that. We have forgotten that. Everybody thinks Prabhupada is dead and gone. Some people say, living God. I want a living God, as if Krishna is dead. And they also say, I want a living Guru. Anyway, let me come back to this topic. So, if you become a Brahma Bhuta, we can become free from the illusion of material energy. You see? So Prabhupada has made everything possible. It's not that he has come and given books and gone and he has set up ISKCON. ISKCON will save the world. Nonsense. He is here. And the books are being distributed so that people can come in touch with person Bhagavatam, person Prabhupada, by joining ISKCON and getting purified. Don't misunderstand that. So, the purpose of you being here is to actually become Brahma Bhuta. Then Mad Bhaktim Labate Param. Then you get Bhakti which is higher than Brahma Bhuta. So that is only by association. Adav Shraddha, you get that faith by reading Prabhupada's books. Tata Sadhu Sangha. Not Tata Guru. That is there. Otherwise you could not have got all these things. He has given himself through the books. Now I am going to come to this connection. So this was just alapana, introduction to the class. This is not the class. Just like plane is going on the runway. It's not yet flying. So I am just accelerating on the runway. Okay, there is a beautiful verse here. So he says here, Sri Durumila said, anyone trying to enumerate or describe fully the unlimited qualities of the unlimited Supreme Lord has the intelligence of a foolish child. It's a very great sage. Millions of years ago he is saying this, and it's still true. Krishna's position is very unique. I'll try to discuss it a little bit. So, he has, there's a beautiful verse here. Within his body, that's the previous verse. कहाँ है? Okay. These two verses are very beautiful. He's saying, Grumila, when the primeval Lord Narayana created his universal body out of the 5 elements produced from himself and thus entered within the universal body by his own plenary portion, he thus became known as Purusha. Purusha. Vishnostu Trini Rupani Purushakyani Ato Viduhu. Purusha is the 3 Vishnu forms. Purushakyani. Of course, Krishna is Adi Purusha. Because within the material world, he is called Purusha, he is the enjoyer. Bhaktaram Yajnatapasam Sarvalokameshwaram. He is Purusha. We are Prakriti, but we are Para-Prakriti. Prakriti means enjoyed, but we are Para-Prakriti. What is Para-Prakriti? Matter when enjoyed, it doesn't enjoy. Suppose I say, oh, it's a beautiful table. The table doesn't say thank you. But if I told the baby, oh, baby, you're so nice, baby is happy. When it is, I'm enjoying the baby, this beauty, but the baby also can enjoy. So you are Para-Prakriti because when Krishna enjoys you, you can also enjoy. Prakriti is not like that. But you are Prakriti. You have to be enjoyed by Purusha. That is why the verse says, is Purusha. But if you think I'm also a Purusha, that's a misconception. What a beautiful this thing. So, Vishnostu Trini Rupani Purushakyani Ato Vidu. Everything I'm saying is in the Shastra. I'm not concocting. Not a one word, one sound is my idea. Even if I say this is nonsense, that is there. Shruti Smriti Puranadi Ancharaita is a Vidimvina. Aikante ki Hare Bhakti Utpataiva Kalpate. Everything what I say is direct translation of Prabhupada. So slokas. We are not here to display our knowledge or something because I'm a fool. A fool who has understood a little bit that I'm a fool by his mercy. I always say, you cannot realize you are a fool any more than when you write an exam, you cannot say you have failed. Even if you have failed, the exam system has to say you have failed. Correct? You are saying I failed has no value. You may pass. So you cannot even say you are a fool. So when I say I am a fool, I have been certified by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. You see? Srila Prabhupada ki jai. You have to be certified that you are a fool. I can prove I am a fool. That's the whole point. Anyway, you can try to understand what do you mean by you can prove you are a fool. It's just like a junior doctor. He says, I can't understand this X-ray, I have to consult the senior. He doesn't understand. But he can prove that he doesn't understand. That's why he's a doctor. Oh, what you don't understand? You're a doctor. No, it's okay, but this kind of a thing is normally not seen. Like that. He will say. He knows. So one of the first stages of progress is you go from ajnana to avidya. Ajnana is ignorance. Avidya is knowing that I don't know. Scientists are avidya. They know that they don't know. Yes, I don't want to go into that, but they know. But you don't know that you don't know. Are you feeling that? That you don't know? From the class? Yes, we should. We should. So, you can understand from these verses how Krishna is Param Yogi. So, this Supreme Lord has expanded into Balaram, and the Balaram is expanded into Chaturvyuha, Chaturpurusha, and they have expanded into unlimited Narayanas, and one Narayana has become Mahavishnu, and Mahavishnu has expanded into two other Vishnus, and those three Vishnus are called Purushas within the material world, so that we don't mistake them to be conditioned souls. They are Purushas. Purushakyani yato viduhu. Then comes this verse, very beautiful verse. Within his body are elaborately, this is a universal form. You must know what is a universal form, because the matter is created by Mahavishnu. Ekanto Mahato Srishtir. The three Vishnus, the first Vishnu, Mahavishnu, he creates matter. Krishna has nothing to do with it. Ekanto Mahato Srishtir, Mahat. So, in that matter, unlimited bodies and forms are created. The sum total of that is the universal body. So he is explaining, this is what is called, in the very beginning, I am not a knower of these things. But still, because of the work I was given to do the scientific work, which nobody knows, I am just doing myself, I don't care whether anybody knows or not. For that he has given me some understanding. I have given this example before. If the temple president says go and get 5 kilos of potato, he'll give you 2 lakh rupees, or he'll give you 200 rupees to get potatoes. 200 rupees he will give. But if he told one devotee, please go and buy a brand new car and bring, he'll give him 1 lakh. It depends. So for whatever service you have, for that, if you do properly, in the beginning he will give you knowledge, and if you do it properly, more knowledge will come. So it does not matter whether you are sweeping or whether you are doing scientific work. All knowledge can be given if you follow that work properly. Devotional service. The sign of devotional service is it's very difficult to perform. You don't think that if you do sweeping as a devotional service, you must find it extremely difficult. Otherwise, it's not devotional service. Arjuna was a great warrior, but he had to fight for Krishna. That was devotional service. It became difficult. Oh, I can't fight. How is it? That is the nature of devotional service. Prabhupada writes that Mayavadis say, oh, bhakti is for just uneducated people. They are doing jnana. But if you ask them to do bhakti, he said, they will just fall away in 2 days. You see? So the fact that we are able to enter bhakti is because of Prabhupada's and Lord Chaitanya's mercy. Alone I cannot do bhakti, says Narottam Das Thakur says. So look at this science, and this is connected to Naranara and Rishi's pastime. So within his universal body, that universal body is within that matter where Prabhupada referred to. There is a place where all these bodies are created. You see? And are elaborately arranged the 3 planetary systems. His transcendental senses generate the knowledge acquiring and active senses. You see? The Purusha, when he enters the material world, he has got transcendental senses, and those are reflected in matter. Chaya Shakti. Just like, where are they going? Just like when you have a shadow, and in the shadow there is a face, and the nose, the eyes. The nose and the eyes are coming out, and the head is coming from my head and the nose and the eyes. Like that, Drumila is explaining, the Lord's transcendental knowledge acquiring and active senses generate the imaginary knowledge acquiring and active senses of embodied beings. His consciousness generates conditioned knowledge. Because without consciousness there is no knowledge. The Purusha has got consciousness. Its reflection is the so-called material knowledge. The capacity for acquiring knowledge comes from Krishna's consciousness in the Purusha avatar. And his powerful breathing process produces bodily strength. If you don't breathe, you are dead and gone. And his breathing gives for all this material kilonas, that is called our bodies, they can breathe. How he is explaining? What a beautiful science he is explaining. Everything, he is the prime mover through the agencies of material modes of goodness, passion and ignorance. And the universe is created, maintained and annihilated. It's due to Purusha. Therefore, in the very first verse of Bhagavatam it is said, only because of Vasudeva. The world is illusory, but only because of Vasudeva it's real. If you just made a drawing of the car, it cannot do anything. But from that drawing, blue design, it goes to the factory and it's made, and there's a car and it runs. And it looks like a self-propelling car. Nowadays, especially automatic driverless cars. But it's all coming from the designer. So everything, all the bodies are expansions of Krishna in the Purusha avatar. Now the last point. Nara-Narayan Rishi, he is an expansion of the Lord, who is actually for protecting the human beings and their dharma. And he has performed many pastimes. You see, many pastimes. And he is still performing and will perform. One of the pastimes was, what is that Asura who had 1,000 hands? Banasura or somebody? Who became Karna. Anyway, so he had 1,000 hands and heads and or whatever it is. Not Sahasra Kavacha, you had 1,000 heads, let us say. But in order to, only once in a yuga, one head can be killed. So for 999 yugas, Nara-Narayana, they fought with him alternately and killed. And the last one when he came, Nara-Narayana Rishi said that let it be kept. And he was born as Karna. You see. So they have performed many pastimes. So when he was doing tapasya for the welfare of the people, for Nara, human beings, Indra foolishly thought that, oh, my job will be gone. That kind of thing is there in politics also. Always. If somebody is becoming powerful, they will try to pull him down and this. So he sent Cupid with all the apsaras. And Cupid personally came and put the arrow on Nara-Narayana. You should know that this whole world functions according to Cupid and his assistants. In all forms of life, sex is pradhana. And as such, there will be no attraction between two bodies because it's all dirty. But when, according to their level, when an assistant of Madana, Cupid, puts the arrow, there's temporary attraction. That's another topic. I don't want to waste my time on that. Not wasting, but it has to be known. When you learn material knowledge, you'll get all of that anyway. So he thought that, so Indra's, and they thought that he will be attracted by all this. But he does not know that all this is himself Krishna. So he was foolish. So then once, then they realized their offense and they were praying. Then Narayana manifested. Millions of apsaras, the top of whom is Urvasi, you'll see. So in this way, that verse is connected to this verse. That verse is talking about universal form and the Purusha entering and everything. And here is a story about Narayan Rishi, but they are connected because in both of them it is shown that the source of everything, Aham hi Adir Deva, I am the source of everything. Vasudevam Sarvamiti. And if you know that, and you can know that by processing this Purasarya and doing bhakti which comes after Purasarya, then devotional service, then you can know all these things. Anyway, this is just a summary. Any questions or comments? Sorry for taking too much time. 9:17. Okay, not very too much. Especially today is Sunday, so it's okay. Any questions or comments? Otherwise, we'll stop. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी.
Yeah.
प्रभु जी, आप
Who is that? Hemagiri? Who is speaking?
मैं प्रभु जी अजीत गोविंद दास.
हाँ, अजीत गोविंद दास, बोलिए.
प्रभु जी, आप बता रहे थे क्लास में कि प्रभुपाद जी ने सिस्टम को इस तरह से डिजाइन किया है कि व्यक्ति बहुत जल्दी कम समय में ब्राह्मण बन सकता है, प्रभुपाद जी के सिस्टम के हिसाब से.
Okay.
लेकिन प्रभु जी, अभी जैसे कहते हैं कि देश काल परिस्थिति के हिसाब से बहुत सारे सिस्टम को भी अपडेट करते हैं. आपने जैसे प्रभुपाद जी की पुस्तकों के बारे में कहे, उसमें भी बहुत सारी चीज़ें अपडेट होती हैं. अभी तो बहुत सारी पुस्तकें ऐसी हैं कि कहा जाता है कि प्रभुपाद की पुस्तकों को आसानी से समझने के लिए देखिए नई पुस्तक आई है, इसको अगर पढ़ेंगे तो प्रभुपाद की पुस्तकों को आसानी से समझेंगे. तो प्रभु जी, कहने का आशय यह है कि जो ओल्ड वर्जन है, जो प्रभुपाद जी का बनाया सिस्टम है, वही परफेक्ट है कि या अपडेटेड वर्जन जो है वो ज़्यादा प्रभावी है.
Translation. Quickly, I understand.
But now some people are writing books. They are saying, read this book, then you can understand Prabhupada. Some so the old system was the perfect or updated system? Yes.
Okay. Thank you. There is somebody that I preached to in olden days, who himself in a temple, I was told, set up a system where you have to read his books first and then Prabhupada's books. But I thought that was an exception. But he's saying now that's a rule? Like more people are... अभी ज़्यादा मंदिर में ऐसे होता है. But if it is happening, as far as I can understand, it's wrong and it's very wrong. But I'm not anybody, I'm not in circulation in ISKCON. I hardly give a class. they call me to give a class, then I give, otherwise. In the olden days, that's a different matter. I was preaching in the 80s, but now, and most devotees don't even know me, that's fine with me. So, no, it's all very wrong. There's nothing, ISKCON does not need anything other than Prabhupada's books. Prabhupada did say, by transcendental authority, one can write. Such a person will not be eager to distribute his works. Yeah, Prabhupada has asked me to do, I've done it, that's all. When it is to be used, it will be used. Like I'm writing scientific papers. Those are transcendental productions. I didn't write them. You do not know. So, I'm not eager to distribute them. People may not even know that I have written such papers. Prabhupada wanted, so I always say I write only for two people, Srila Prabhupada and Lord Chaitanya. That's all. Many devotees say, please send me a paper. I don't send. So, you can write, but you don't have to put it in the bookshelf and book thing and no. Only books that have to be read and distributed is Prabhupada's books. That is Krishna's, Lord Chaitanya's arrangement as far as I know. Yeah. Huh? I can hear you, but we should understand. That's called yoga. Go on.
But practically they knows that they are not body, okay? So being, for example, I am Shudra, okay? I am Shudra. You said na there are two types of people.
We are Shudras.
I'm saying I am Shudra. So I'm in body, like I'm talking, I'm speaking to you. So being in body, I don't know that I'm a body, okay? But those who are Shuddha Bhakta, Mahabhagavat, they knows that they are not the body. So what's the difference you mean to say? For example, those who know that they are not the body, if they are hurt, if their finger is cut or something like that.
Those who know that they are not the bodies?
Bodies. For example, there is some injury to their like material body. For example, their finger is cut, something like that. Or
they won't be affected.
Leg is cut. So they won't.
You're saying.
What's the difference then? They won't be affected means they won't feel a pain or they won't get affected.
Okay. His question is that we are thinking we are our bodies, and yoga means even though we may be using the bodies, we should know that we are not these bodies. I gave the example. You act as a rich man acts as a poor man, beggar in a play. He should be realistic. He should act like a poor beggar, but he should not believe that I'm a beggar. So, Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam, you have to use this for Krishna. Anyway, that was just a simple example. So his question was, pure devotees, they know that they are not the bodies. That is wrong. Pure devotees are the bodies.
What?
Huh?
Pure devotees are the bodies.
Are the bodies, because their bodies are transcendental.
But
Gurushu Naramati. So, Prabhupada is not some transcendental personality from the spiritual world who had this body. No. It is the same form that he has in the spiritual world, it's appearing here. How? That is a mystery that I can explain, but not necessary. So, Gurushu Naramati, one of the offenses, to consider the spiritual master as ordinary human being. He is not a human. They are not taught. But everybody is reciting the 10 offenses every day. To consider the spiritual master as an ordinary human being. He is not an extraordinary human being. He is not a human being. Are you following?
yeah, I'm following.
So their position is very different. These are all not taught. That's why they think Prabhupada is dead and gone. I'm exaggerating. If you ask them, they'll say, no, Prabhupada has taken samadhi and he has gone back to the spiritual world. Nitilila Pravishta, Javam Vishnupad Paramamsa. No, you moron, he's sitting here. What is this Nitilila Pravishta? This is person Bhagavata, Prabhupada. This is book Bhagavat. And you don't know person Bhagavat. So, their activities cannot be understood. Therefore it is said in Chaitanya Charitamrita, the activity, Vaishnavera Kriya Mudra, it cannot be understood except by another Vaishnava. So Prabhupada in the beginning, he was in New York. He was walking on the floor, there was a sharp thing and hit him. And he just lifted and removed it and went as if nothing happened. Now your question is, how do they do that? You cannot understand. Vaishnavera Kriya Mudra. Because they are, so it's a very great thing that when a transcendental person comes, that's why it's called appearance. It's not birth. And when they take samadhi, it's called disappearance. It's not called death. You're following? So somebody has to teach you. It cannot be said in public. Thoda kuch, because you asked, I said. Are you following? Prabhupada is a transcendental personality. He's always present. Just like the sun is always present. But if you are on earth, it is night and day. But if you could take a rocket and go up the earth's atmosphere, you can see the sun 24 hours. Like that, this appearance and disappearance of Prabhupada is from our point of view.
You meant to say like that, for his appearance he took that form, that body like
No, don't. Just listen, it's enough. Don't ask questions. This is beyond your ken. Just I'm speaking, listen, that's enough. We are not having a discussion. It's a monologue. I speak, you listen. Otherwise, there's no need for me to speak. You understand? Don't let your mind run. Mind is running and asking questions. It's a good question. So, at least I could speak a little. When I say Prabhupada, I mean the eternal personality. Always there. And if you don't connect to him, you're finished. No one else can save you, not even Krishna. Yasya prasadat Bhagavat prasado, yasya aprasadat nagati kutopi. You must know. So that transcendental personality is 24/7 there. What is? But you don't know how to connect to him. I'll take one more question if it is there. That was a good question. Otherwise, we'll stop. Is there anybody has a question?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Adi Shankaracharya says, Aham Brahmasmi. Means, सब में ब्रह्म की ही एक आत्मा है, सोल है. And somewhere we are full. Means,
What is the question? Can somebody translate?
what is the meaning of Aham Brahmasmi?
But you said something about fools and all that.
No, sometime before you said, everybody don't know anything.
Everybody in the material world is a fool.
Yes.
100%.
And Adi Shankaracharya say, हम सब में ब्रह्म की ही आत्मा है.
Adi Shankara says what?
अहम ब्रह्मास्मि.
No. First of all, we are Brahman, but Krishna is Parabrahman. And Adi Shankara didn't say that. Although in Bhaja Govindam he said, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam, Bhaja Mudamate. You fools, Mudamate means fools. So the same person who said, Aham Brahmasmi, he said Mudamate. Fools. So in the material world we have come because we are fools. Because we thought we can imitate Krishna. Oh, Krishna is having so many girlfriends, I will also have. Kama yesha, krodha yesha, rajo guno samudbhava. Kama, that kama is that I want to be like Krishna. And krodha is why only Krishna should enjoy, I will also enjoy. So, the fact that you are spirit soul in your liberated state doesn't mean you are not a fool. Your own Adi Shankara has said that. Mudamate. So, we have to learn what to do. We are sick. We are materially sick. We have to treat ourselves and we have to become cured. And the great personality is here. The great personality is here. Srila Prabhupada is here. You should never forget that. Right now. And he is the preacher. We are not the preachers. We are his helpers. But he is the preacher. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaur Premanandi.